easier one on paper at least, and a first chance for the sprinters. Maybe the first opportunity for Mark Cavendish and his Project 35. But plenty of competitors were there, and Tadej Pogačar was back in the yellow jersey, with Jasper Philipsen hoping to continue where he left off at the Tour, winning. Jonas Vingegaard would have been happy after a very good performance on the mountain, and Remco Evenepoel was in the white jersey. 230 kilometres between Piacenza and Torino. Turin the finishing point after an easier day, a flatter day, but the longest day of this year's Tour de France. 3 classified climbs, but all fourth cats. Just 1,200 metres of climbing spread over the 230k. They've had 5,500 metres packed into the first 2 days. So Pogačar, 22nd day in yellow. Jonas Abrahamsen, the points classification leader, the first man from Norway to wear that jersey since Alexander Kristoff. All eyes were on what would happen at the very start. Who would attack? Who'd want to spend all day out there in front? The immediate answer was nobody. No breakaway until 5 kilometres in. Uno X were at it again. The youngest rider in the race, Johannes Kulset and Jonas Abrahamsen going up the road. Tadej Pogačar and the rest thinking they were in for an easy day to chase. Dylan Groenewegen sporting some new eye and nose wear. Abrahamsen was having fun. They quickly got a minute and a half, but they decided that that was that. It was not worth expending the energy. Out of the peloton and back in it in the space of 5 to 10 kilometres. And soon the peloton was in for a very slow, lethargic start. Certainly as far as professional cycling is concerned. France and Belgium chatted about the football before the match had even kicked off. Coquard and Dely, enemies on the bike for the day. They would be on the foot he started as well. There were no real enemies at the top, but Abrahamsen was pushed as the peloton paid homage to the late, great Fausto Coppi. Almost 100 kilometres ridden, and we're away into the intermediate sprint, the first real action point of the day. Mars Pedersen, Sam Bennett, Biniam, Girmay were all up there. Brian Coquard was having a go as well, but the first green jersey sprint of this particular tour, of any sort of meaning, went to Mars Pedersen. Second place went to Jasper Philipsen. Friends for now. The drinks were being offered. Kevin Junior decided he wanted a different flavour. As Mark Cavendish was fiddling with his bike, was messing with it, there were wheel changes, special bidons. It was a big day in prospect. The stress was naturally around, but that is always a good sign for Cavendish. Not always wanting the focal point with the cameras on when he was after drafting back to the peloton. Fabien Grelier attacked, the first and only real attack of the day. That happened with 60 k's to go as he went over the final King of the Mountains point at just under 50 k's to go. Back at the Tour for the first time in 4 years, he was back in the peloton with just under 30 kilometres left. Just outside the top 10 kilometres of the day, and there was a crash involving Casper Pedersen. The nerves were everywhere. There was an issue for Bruno Armirail as well, as the roundabouts came and went on the way into Turin. A new safety experiment was conducted, and the safe zone had been extended from 3 to 5 kilometres, but that didn't do any good for Mathieu van der Poel. He had a mechanical, then there was a crash with 2.3 k's to go. 3 or 4 riders down, a lot of sprinters caught up behind it. But there was still plenty to contest the finish. They went left a couple of times onto the final finishing straight, and Andermatt were leading out Gerben Thijssen. Their other sprinter, Biniam Girmay, had a free roll behind, and he was following the wheels of Dely and Pedersen. Groenewegen was in the mix as well, as was Bennett, with Jacobsen in there too. Gaviria was following for Movistar. There was no Philipsen here though, there was no Cavendish. They'd been caught behind the crash. But once the sprint was launched, it was incredible. You could see the momentum coming. 250 metres to go, turned to 200 quickly. Pedersen had launched, but on the left-hand side, coming with the speed, having the acceleration, history was about to be made. Biniam Girmay was back. Africa was rising, and the first ever black African victory at the Tour de France. Biniam Girmay, who'd done it in Flanders at Gent-Wevelgem, who'd made history in the Giro D'Italia, now did it at the Tour. The 1st of July 2024, a very special day for Eritrean and African cycling. Gaviria was second, Duli was bumped into third place. Groenewegen was a little unhappy, but Girmay had the pace, had the speed, the quality and class to win, bringing with it Andermarché's first ever Tour de France stage win too. A glorious moment in Turin. Eritrea will have erupted. Well, after injury and problems at the Giro in this northwest Italian region, he bounced right back a month and a bit later. Biniam Girmay, a Tour de France stage winner. Gaviria second, Duli third, with Pedersen and company behind. But what a special moment. Girmay making history. On the top of the stage podium. In terms of the green jersey, this is how it looks. Early days yet, of course. We'd had 4 riders tied on time at the top of the yellow jersey standings as well. And Richard Carapaz finished well ahead of Pogacar and Evenepoel in the placings, and that meant that the Ecuadorian became the first man from his nation to wear the yellow jersey. Richard Carapaz, the Olympic champion and Giro winner in Italy, now leading the Tour. The Tour now goes back to France, starting in Pinerolo with a shorter stage, but mountainous stage. A finish in Valois after a trip over the Galibier. A finish downhill, but never has the Tour de France been so high so soon. The Tour de France is available to watch live and on demand every day on Eurosport and on Discovery+. We hope you'll join us.